Although I'm in the south and I've already got plenty of vegetables in the ground. As you can see, there is zucchini getting ready to come off. I'm getting Brussels sprouts and spinach, and peas are already starting to develop here. So I did want to show you step by step, because if you're up north or if you're in a different country, you may have not had the weather we've had to get potatoes in the ground. So I'm going to show you how, in just a short period of time, I've got potatoes growing. And I've also got some corn growing in beside the potatoes. So we'll see how that does. It's supposed to be a companion plant. We'll see how they grow together. But I've got potatoes in bags, and it looks like the geese or the ducks got a hold of that plant. But I've got some growing in bags, and I've got some growing in the ground. So I'm going to show you how to grow potatoes from even store-bought potatoes. If you cannot find just regular potato seeds, you can do them out of store-bought potatoes. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, when you're looking at a seed potato and you're getting ready to cut it up, you're looking, that's easy to see that that one's grown out. But you're looking at those eyes. Anywhere there is an eye is a potential to have a potato plant. Like this one here, a lot of it's growing down there, but down here there's not so much. But that one will make, there's one there, it's small, but it will. So you want to go through and cut those up and make individual. Some people will throw this whole thing in here, and that's okay if you want to. My family has never done that. My mother would always, when I was little, would just take a good potato, cut the eye out, put it in a cardboard box, and then eat the rest of the potato. Of course, these are not good anymore to eat, but they're great for planting. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. Okay, here is a bag of russet potatoes that I bought at the grocery store. This is a 10-pound bag. And if you wanted to use these to actually start your potatoes, you want to cut out the eyes. So these potatoes right here, even from the grocery store, will produce potatoes. There's some there. See, that's what you're looking for. So if you're doing potatoes and you're cooking these potatoes, then you just want to take a portion of these off, and then the rest of the potatoes good. Then throw these eyes inside of a cardboard box for a couple days and just let them cure. But every potato that you get will have those eyes, and those will make more potatoes. This one has this one, and then there's one off to the side. This is going to be my main one, so I'm going to let it grow. And this one actually has multiples. There's 5 in there, so I will cut this one down the center. And you'll see people, some people have half a potato. And that's okay if you want to do it that way. This one has its eye there, and there is nothing else. So I'm just going to leave this whole piece together. And I promise you that you don't have to have the whole potato to do it. This stuff will grow. You will get to see this follow-up and see how well these grow with just small pieces. Now here is a box of potatoes that I had from last year. I put them in here, and I put them in a box to let them. This is what the box looks like. So I need to go through and cut them, and that's called chitting, C-H-I-T-T-I-N-G. And you want to separate the potatoes, the eyes of the potatoes. Now, these are very healthy. As you can tell, there's these two main ones, then there's one there, and several back there. Some people will tell you you can cut them, I don't know if I showed that or not. Some people will tell you to have 2 eyes at a time. I'm gonna cut mine so that I get the most out of my bang for my buck on this. So with this one, I'm gonna cut it in half right here, and then that's all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have 2, although I have more eyes than that, but we're gonna cut that in half because we have a lot of potato seeds here. So then you want to set it in an area and let them dry and cure more or less. So you want this to dry up a little bit. So you want to cut these about 2 to 3 days before you want to plant them. So we're gonna go through and grab some more. Let's look at this potato because it's got a huge start on it. Now when you look at this, these here are where the roots will come out. So officially I could plant this kind of like this and let it grow up like that, and it would have amazing roots. Now this one, that's pretty much because it's so big, it has taken all the energy from all the other ones, so I will leave that one by for itself. This one has multiple eyes all over the place. So I'm just gonna cut it in the center. And I'm gonna leave those 2. Then that one will have 3. I could kind of cut it again, but it's gonna take a lot of the energy from it, so. So when it comes time to plant potatoes, all you wanna do is you wanna make rows. Just mount up some dirt, as you can see I've done here, and then you put the potato, the eye that you had inside the dirt. Now it does not matter if you have the eyes up. Some people will say yes, put the eyes up. It will be easier if your eyes are up, but I promise you, when I'm throwing potatoes down, I'm not, and there's potatoes growing right there, I'm not going to bend over 100 times to make sure that the eyes are turned up. And if they're turned down, they will rotate, they will grow up towards the sun. So you can tell I'm already a month into this, already got potatoes. They're small. So once you start having potatoes, you want to make sure that you have them covered. You need to make sure there's plenty of dirt. I will come in here with straw and make sure that everything's covered, because once a potato gets sun on it, it'll turn green and it's poisonous. So just make sure you have plenty of dirt, and these do well in straw too. You can do it in straw, but they will. This is a real sandy loam sand I've got them in, and they're growing well. Just make sure you fertilize when you first put them in, and then throughout this, during probably halfway through the season, you may want to throw some more fertilizer in. If you're using a liquid fertilizer, then you want to do it every week. I use triple 13 on my potatoes. So not organic, never claimed to be. I tried to, but where I'm at, there's just no way I could do this much of a garden and have it organic. They make beautiful flowers. So this one is in a raised bed. This is one of my raised beds, and I've got peppers over there, and I've got cucumbers growing there. So just don't be afraid to try. You can put them in bags, you can put them in buckets. I'll show you some of my buckets. Here is some of my grow bags, and you see the roots have come out the bottom. They're doing fine, and as this goes along, I'll add more dirt to make sure that the potatoes are very covered and that the sun doesn't get in on them. And that plant is doing very well. I'm going into the greenhouse. I have a container that I just decided to put holes in the side and then filled it up with dirt. And this actually this bucket is the bucket that I have inside my greenhouse that I kind of throw my scraps in when something goes bad or dies or whatever. I just throw the potting soil, any of the dead stuff in here, and then you can see there's dead limbs and everything else in here. But down in here is potatoes growing. They're not ready to dig up yet, so we're gonna let them grow. They just sprawl out over the container. Just want to show you how quickly these grow. This is on April the 2nd, and then what you're seeing in the other videos is April the 30th. Potatoes are doing wonderful. And in there, I threw some corn in with it. And what I did this year to just try to keep the grass down is I put some feed bags in between the rows to just keep the grass down. As you can tell, there is some grass there. The main thing I want to say here, guys, is just start trying. If you're new at gardening, then just try. It will survive or it won't. It's not overly expensive, and if you take some potatoes that are going to go bad and you throw them in a 5-gallon bucket with some hose in it on your balcony or on your back deck and just see what happens, you'll get 5 or 6 potatoes out of that one potato. So you are multiplying. But if you're in an apartment and it's just 2 of you, getting a small package of green beans, pole green beans, and growing them, you only need 4 or 5 of those seeds in a couple of containers, and that'll be enough food to feed you through the whole summer. But whatever you do, just start being self-sufficient. Start learning. If you don't know how to do this, practice, because the world's getting crazy and the prices are too expensive. So just start learning. It doesn't take a lot. There's plenty of us out there teaching. I learned from my parents, but I do things different than they did. Everything they did was in the ground. I do raised beds. So learn how to do this. A couple pots on the balcony and you can grow a lot of stuff. But prepare yourself and get educated. You guys take care. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.